Hi lovelies, my name's Stephanie. Welcome back to my channel. This is Fab with Steph. Today I am doing this eyeshadow look and I am starting from completely nothing on my face, so please bear with me as I do my eyes. My skin is now looking flawless. If you have any questions, because you're about to see my skin's not flawless, feel free to pop them in the comments down below. All of that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in and start doing my makeup. This is for a specific event, a photo shoot that is being submitted, so stay tuned on my Instagram and you'll get to find out a lot more. Okay, so excuse my bare face, I'm doing this like I would normally do it when I'm getting ready. Sometimes I do put something on to give me a little filter, but today I'm au naturel, so I hope you don't mind. The brushes I'm going to use for the look are these three right here. I commonly use these ones, but I tend to talk about them on other sites, so just in case you didn't know, I'm going to just explain quickly what these are. This one right here, which is loose, this is the sort of shape that you get with it. This is a blender brush, so it's good when you are just blending out towards your brow bone. It's good when you're trying to blend within colours across, and once you've done your eyeshadow look, if you're putting on mascara and you get it on like the eye after you've done your look, most stressful moment of anyone's life, I'm sure you'll agree, you can go ahead and blur and blend with this to cover that little mark rather than trying to use something to remove it and then reapply to get the same shading that you'd used before. So I'm going to pop her down here. Second one is this guy right here. So it's not as loose, this one is one that I would use for packing pigment onto my eye, and the reason is you do get less fallout with this brush. So when I'm tapping it on, I would then use that blender to go ahead and blend it out, but it will do a little bit of blending on its own. So this is probably the key brush. Like I could probably do, to be honest, I could probably do most of it with just this one as well, but there is going to then be potentially more fallout, and this one's not going to blend quite as nicely as that one, but it's going to have less fallout to fix, so it just depends on your own personal preference. I honestly could do my makeup with any of these brushes on their own, but I do prefer to have a smaller one, and this one here is actually specifically for your inner corner, so that's where you would do that little highlight bit. What I'm going to use it for today is because I'm doing a halo eye look, I will use it for the inner corner, but I'll also use it to blend for the little outer edges of my lid, so like the corners of my lid, because I'll do little triangles of the darker shades, but I do still want that to have a bit of a nice blend. I don't want it to be like a harsh triangle. You want it to look quite ombre and to be leading towards the centre of your eye, really opening out. So I'm going to show you what palettes I'm going to be using. Normally, I would try and stick to the one palette when I'm doing a look with you guys, because I think it gives you an idea if that palette's maybe a good palette for you, like if you like the overall look. This is actually for a photo shoot, so it is slightly different, and I do need to use a combination, so I'm going to show you what I am definitely using today and what I may be using today. I'm going to decide as I go through. So first one, and actually the key one, is this one right here. Oh, excuse the flashback. This is the Laroc Pro Artistry book. I got mine for free from Agora. This is the original edition, and I believe it's currently on sale for £25. If you're interested in the newer edition, I think that one's £40 or £50. You do get a lot for your money. These are quite big sizes. I don't know, I mean, can you tell? It's like bigger than my actual face. Quite big sizes, a lot of colours. I think it's great if you want to really play around or do creative makeup and you don't want to invest in one of the more expensive palettes. But in all honesty, if I was going to go ahead and buy a palette, I would be leaning towards the Beauty Bay. But yeah, I've got what I've got, so here we are. Next one I'm planning on using is the Pat McGrath. This is called the Mothership Sublime Golden Opulence. She's a beauty, and the main shade that I actually want to use from this today, and the only shade I imagine I'll use, is her signature gold. So this one is actually called Golden Opulence, I believe. It's absolutely stunning, and I think it's just going to be a great base for opening my eye in the centre. I am going to layer something on top of that, which I wouldn't usually do, but I'm going to be taking the photo for the full outfit, so I need to make sure my eyes are really popping, and I'm going to top it off with this right here. So this is the Confetti shade from With Love Cosmetics. It is just a pressed glitter. It has minimal fallout. It says it has none, but it does have a little fallout, but it is minimal, and I'm going to pop that and literally tap it on top in the centre. That's my plan for that. Other palettes I may include in this, but I might not, is the Tenji Glisten Up palette. This is the Morphe Pride palette from last year. And if I am going to be using it, it will be for the yellow and the orange shades. And the other palette that I might use, just up here, and it is my Icy Fantasy. Again, this is only a potential. This one has pretty much every shade of the rainbow, but in a very pastely. So I'm thinking that if I need to blur the lines a little more, if I don't like how it's blended out, that I would use one of these, because that is a lot more subtle, will blend out to my skin nicely. Again, like making sure I don't have any too harsh lines, because obviously that's not the dream. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. The one thing that I'm missing to go ahead and begin is just my eyeshadow primer. So I'm gonna go and grab those, and then I'm gonna jump in. Okay, so the two primers that I'm going to be using today are P. Louise Base 1 and the NYX Glitter Primer. Now, I might not need this, but I might, so I'm going to give it a bash when I'm doing the glitter. Bit nervous because I'm planning on layering it on colour, because I do really want that to be like hella vibrant. So we'll see what happens when I get nearer to that part. But beginning with the P. Louise Base. Little tube like this, I'm sure you'll have seen it from other people. You do need to make sure you don't put too much of this on. That's a really common mistake, and I know that because I did it, so I was like, does anyone else have this problem? So I'm going to start with like literally the ittiest, bittiest little bit. See that? It's not a lot at all. I think this might be close to the amount I used last time. That was actually too much, but I don't want to be left with like the shape. The rest of my makeup is just going to be very simple, very nice. So I'm putting this over both, making sure I'm covering the parts that I'm putting my eyeshadow on first. If you put on too much as well, it actually can give you hella texture, which is not the vibe. Yeah, look, see, that's enough for both eyes, and actually still potentially a little too much. I'm just going to use the mirror on the Pat McGrath so that I can get that line next to my brow tight, because that is what I need. I need this makeup to feel like little perfection. Technically, it's far enough away that it doesn't need to be flawless, but how I feel when I'm doing this photo shoot is going to make such a difference. I'm taking it into my inner corner around that area because eyeshadow will probably get there, and I do want it to just be able to blend out. And I'm going to pat it with my finger, just like I'm blending in with anything else. See how I'm like, I'm not leaving it like it's a crazy line. I'm actually quite lucky because I'm very pale as well anyway. Oh, do your line properly, Stephanie. The line I just said was the most important bit, and then I go in and finger blend. I just want to finger blend the edges and make sure that I'm not left with too much in terms of texture. Pull this out. So what do we think? That's quite a nice base, right? I think so. It looks nice in person, even if it doesn't necessarily look nice on camera. But trust the process, guys. This is how we do it. When I'm doing a halo eye, I start by doing the colour in the crease, and I sort of deepen at the corners. It's not the darkest shade. I look to use the mid shade when I do this. I'm looking to do what is basically a sunset, because the look that I'm wearing is very sort of, I mean, it kind of reminds me of Beyonce's dress in Hold Up. It's not got all of the sleeves, unfortunately. It's a strappy, like flare, raise up at the front, not full maxi. You'll see it if you go over to my Instagram, because that will, I mean, soon. It can only go up after Monday, the 29th of June. Is that the date? 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th of June, because that's when it's being submitted to where it's being submitted. I have to be like all hush hush just in case I post this video before I post the pictures. But yeah, so I need to be quite hush hush about that. But it also reminds me of like sort of Spanish influence, like very sort of cha-cha, like being on holiday vibes. I've got little strappy sandals. I am feeling like, I'm just feeling that whole like energy. It's sun, it's bright, it's gorgeous. So I am going to start with the shade, I believe it was Cherry Soda, because I did a little practice round. Yes, it's called Cherry Soda. If I'm wrong, I'll be able to go over it anyway. And I'm just going to tap it on each side here first, because that's where I want more of the intensity. I'm going to take it out and up, because I do want this, like I said, to be quite a bold eye look. And then I'm going to take it across my crease. And do you see how I am actually kind of blending that as I go? Just doing a sort of back and forth motion where I want to do that, and where I want the colour to be more intense, I'll pack it instead. So tap, 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 tap. But when I just want like a wisp of the colour, that's what I'm doing. So this is the shape that I'm going for. I might actually kind of elongate it, or is that, I don't want to do too much. I don't want to look like I'm in drag. Well, I mean, I do, but not for this. So let's do my flick first. How are they doing? They are, oh, I just stabbed my face. I don't think these two are friends, so I'm gonna have to blend it up a bit. I'm just gonna take under here. I think the way to do it is probably to raise the flick here. Is that the way to do it? Yeah, I think that is. I can always tweak it later, go in with a bit of micellar water on a, usually like a Q-tip, a cotton bud. Tap, 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 tap. Give me that intensity, baby. Do, do, do. And then a little blend. So I'm going to go ahead and get my blending brush so that I can do this a bit nicer. The shade I'm going to use for the blend up at the top, just lightly, is called Apricot. And I'm just going to, again, do a bit of back and forth before kind of going to the brow bone just a little. I want to soften the edges, but I'm actually not softening it right out because I want this shape to be quite definitive. If you wanted a softer blend, you absolutely can do that without like having like such a definitive shape. It's all just about practice and play. Stunning. How am I feeling? Yes. I'm feeling yes. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is those little intensified colour. Did I not quite? I'm bring this over just a little. The intensified colour squares, as I call them, triangles, even squares, that I want to do in my corners of my lid. The shade that I used for this when I did my practice was Psycho, which I quite liked. So I might go on a Psycho and a bit of Holly, which is a sort of burgundy mixed with an orange, because I really want this to be stand out. So if this is not stand out enough, I'm going to go in and I'm going to choose another colour, because it is imperative. I'll just go on top with a bit more Psycho. It's probably not the best colour name, is it? And I'm actually going to sort of take it, but just gently up towards the centre. I'm not going to take it to this middle bit, because it's really important that that is as bright and as light as possible for the eyeshadow look that I am doing. But I will take it up, so it's just sort of gradually intensifying. Don't worry about your edges here just yet, because you're going to be putting more colour if you choose to do this kind of look. Don't know why I'm saying it as though you might do this, because you might not. You might just be watching because it's like, don't know, I think it's quite therapeutic to watch someone else do makeup. It's what I do when I'm feeling down, sick, happy, pretty much any emotion. Let's take it up, take it up. Stunning. I might, yeah, I think I will just take it out a little bit towards that shape. Yeah, oh yeah, that looks so much better on camera, which is really what I need, to be honest. The camera is more important in the makeup that I'm doing right now, but I'm liking how it's looking in my mirror as well, which is helpful. Okay, next shade I want to use is an orangey shade. I'm going for a shade called Burnt, and it's literally orange. And I'm just going to tap that. I'm actually taking it just inside from that corner I was talking to you about, because you're going to overlay just a little bit and then come into the colour kind of on its own nearer the centre. That's a bit much, the centre. I want to keep as much of the centre free as possible, because the more that you've got there, the clearer that halo is going to be. So this is where I might go in with a cotton bud and some micellar, because I just need to make sure I've got enough lid space to make this literally stunning. I'm also going to take Burnt underneath my eye at this point. I'd already taken, not the darkest, but I took the mid-tone down. This is just, again, it's a bit of a brighter colour. Because I have used it both sides, I will take it both sides. Be careful not to put too much in your under eye, that's a common mistake, but because I'm doing the base last, you do have a little bit more space to edit it out if you need to, like using your concealer or whatever else. Again, I'm leaving that centre free for when I'm doing my halo. So how I had done this initially, I used the colour Circus, and that's my yellow. This is the same colour pretty much as the dress that I'm going to be wearing, and I am layering that over. But because I want to go in and add that gold, I'm actually not taking that as far to the centre. as I had done in my sort of practice. I did a practice in like 5 minutes. I didn't use a base, like I just literally like fingered it onto my eye to get what I wanted in terms of like a colour, because I wanted to make sure that I was happy enough with the combination. At the moment it could look a bit sore if I don't brighten this up, but trust the process. So I'm actually going to go straight in. Where have I sat my Pat McGrath? Are you here? Where are you? Oh, that's so dumb. I'm using it for the mirror. Genius. Pat McGrath, if you don't know, is actually better finger swatched. It really doesn't matter which finger, but most people will lean towards using their ring finger or their center finger. Look at that. Literally look at it. Absolutely stunning. I put the main of the colour here, and then with the excess I am tapping it up towards my brow, I guess, like in line with what's going on here. I don't need it to be as intense. I want the focus to be here, but just having that colour pull through, especially in the under eye, is super, super important to giving a complete look. You can skip it if you don't want it to be too intense, if you're really looking to sort of minimise it, because it's all personal preference, you know. Some people love having really obvious makeup. I mean, to be fair, if you're looking for modest makeup, this probably isn't the eyeshadow look for you. I'm doing this a bit messier. You could then switch finger to do it, but because I know I'm going in with my makeup anyway, I really don't mind doing a bit of this. Have I got enough coverage here? I think I need a little more on this side for the center, just to make it the same sort of intensity. And then I probably need to tap out a bit more to give the same sort of fun. Okay, so happy with this. The question that I have now is, should I go on with that glitter? And honestly, when anyone asks me about glitter, my answer is usually yes. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a try and just, you know, pray for me. I mean, you're about to see what happens anyway, but you know, pray for me. So first and foremost, with Love Cosmetics, I learned about again through Agora, and I'm obsessed. I now have 3 of them. It's very difficult not to get addicted. I do want more shades, but as someone who's not a makeup artist, it is quite expensive. This is probably going to run you about £10. It's just the one shade. It is quite a lot that you're getting, but in terms of like how much I'd maybe pay for a palette, and the fact that I'm really not going anywhere, like I don't need to be this glam, like who do I think I am? It's a bit spinny, but I think I'm amazing and that I deserve the best makeup even for sitting in the house, because it lifts my spirits. And why should I not show myself a bit of love sometimes, you know? I'm going to go ahead and put this on my finger. So this is what she looks like just now. And then I'm going to tap. Oh, I love it. I look, guys, can you? So I am only seeing a teeny bit of fallout, like genuinely teeny. I am seeing a little bit of texture. I decided not to obviously put on the glitter primer. I didn't really explain that to you as I was doing it, but in terms of having the texture on top of that Pat McGrath, I just didn't think it was going to work out. I'm going to be a bit messier with this now and try and get it on. Oh, I'm actually obsessed. Okay. You might not think this is stunning, but if you don't, then it's not for you. It's for me. That glitter in the under eye as well. Again, if I was doing this and I had already done my base, I probably wouldn't have done it in the under eye, because like I knew I was going to get it in places I didn't want to get it just there. But I am doing my makeup last, so you know, like literally, why not? I do want to use an eyeliner. I just think that doing like a little cat eye with things like this looks amazing. But before I do that, I need to decide what's going on in my inner corner. Now I have about 5 different options in terms of trends. A lot of people just now are doing a contrasting colour there. So in this sense, it would be, because these are all warm colours, using a green or a blue. I could get away with using a purple, because that does kind of lean towards a blue base and sometimes leans towards that, like, I guess a pinky, so another sort of warm base. So I could do a purple in the centre, but honestly, I don't want to do too much to take away from this dress. So as much as I would do that for fun, I am going to add the drama Oh, which one do I want to use to add the drama? I'm so tempted to use the gold, but I don't want it. Do you know what I am? I'm going to try it with the gold. I can take off the inner corner if I need to. I'm going to use a brush to do this. And then just match it up here. What do we think? I think that's fine, especially once I've got my liner on as well. And it's just going to add like some nice drama rather than like really fighting with the look. So this is what I'm going for. So happy. I'm going to go and do my eyeliner, get some mascara on and do a base and show you guys what it looks like with everything kind of together. If I decide to add anything like snazzy, I will put the video back on so I can include it, but otherwise it's literally just putting on other bits of makeup. So I'm sure that you probably know how to do that, and if you're interested in a tutorial in eyeliner and stuff, I've actually done that as a separate video. So I'll be right back. Okay, obviously my face is a bit pink at the moment, but this is the eyeshadow look. I just need to, I'll tidy it up underneath, but I added hella glitter and I just thought that you would be so proud. I'll finish it off and then let you see it so you can give me feedback if there's anything that looks like squint or just really obnoxiously wrong. That's what I'm worried about because I'm going to be from a distance, so I need it to be like fierce. Okay, my lovelies, so I've went a little bit boring with my nude lip. I've got a Topshop highlight on, which is glowy and dewy, but not overwhelming because my eyes are quite prominent. And like I said, I really want them to pop. I am loving this. I cannot lie. I think my makeup looks great. I might need a little bit more blush, I feel like. Maybe I'll just add that just now because it does kind of look like a little bit washed out, maybe. That's like, I guess, one of the problems about being supremely pale. Because I do definitely want, it doesn't need to be the key thing, but I do want my blush to stand out and for my cheeks to look healthy and glowy and dewy. Honestly, I would have been close to making my skin quite tan for this, but I'm not trying to catfish or pretend I'm something different from what I am. The whole point of what I'm doing here is to show off that people are different. So if I'm looking like someone other than myself, I don't think I really do people who look like me a good service. I am very, very pale. I never take a tan, so that's what I mean by people who look like me. I think that that's already better. I'm quite happy with that. Nice flush in the cheeks, nice nude in the lips. I might change this. I probably wouldn't do too much to it, but I might change to a different nude. It depends how it shows in the camera. But I do think this one's got a nice warm base, so it goes well. Obviously, I don't usually have my hair straight, so I think having the difference as well. I really enjoy just doing something that's like, it's still me, but like, you know, maybe an elevated version. I'm not doing my roots for this, which probably makes me a lazy bugger, but I'm excited. What do you guys think? I'd love to know in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed watching this. If you want to see anything more from me in particular, always feel free to comment. Let me know what you think you would like. If you want to see more content from me and you haven't already, of course you can hit subscribe. But mainly, thank you very much for watching, for taking the time out of your day. I hope that you stay safe and well. Bye!